This one thing is holding you back from achieving your dreams. Hello, this is Baxter from Misfit Island. And recently, someone asked me what is the biggest piece of advice I would give a young designer. And it's really the advice I would give anyone at the start of anything. Something is holding you back, and it's this one thing. It's fear. Fear stops everyone in their tracks. Until you learn how to conquer fear, you will remain stuck where you are. Because fear keeps you in disbelief. Pretty much everyone wants to make a difference, but they don't believe they can, they don't know how, and they get trapped in thinking it's just impossible. That is a form of fear. So how do you overcome fear? It's not always easy, but it does start with this one thing. It's about taking the first step. Asking for help is a strength, not a weakness. Do whatever it takes to take that first step, and then leverage the power of momentum. Once you take that first step, it is your first push back against the fear that has been keeping you stuck. And if you need help, ask for it. And there are lots of places to find help. You can choose a helpline. You could reach out to a friend. You can reach out to a family member. You can go to an organization. You can join an online community. But take that first step. Resist the voices that are telling you can't, don't, impossible. Do whatever it takes to take that first step. Don't let fear win. I hate to admit this, but I can't really swim. But that hasn't prevented me from going on really great adventures. I remember once I was in Costa Rica on a whitewater rafting trip. And the biggest concern I have, of course, is falling in and not being able to swim back to the boat and drowning, which is a real fear. But I did it anyway. And I was motivated because my daughter really wanted to go whitewater rafting. So now I have to trust that the guides are going to keep me safe. They're going to get me home again. Now we're talking about category 4s and 5s. So of course, inevitably, we fall out the boat several times. And I'm using all of my strength to fight my way back to the boat, essentially kicking and screaming. But you can probably guess where this story is going. There's a point where they pull the boats off to the side and say, we can't really take the boats through here, but you can jump into the water from one of the cliffs. Everyone in the boat decides to do it, so I follow along. And this reminds me of that classic story of, if your friend jumps off a bridge, will you do the same? And inevitably, you're supposed to answer no, but in this case, it was yes. Everyone else was doing it, I decided to do it too. So we go to the cliffs, and people are jumping off one by one into this big pool of swirling water and then have to make their way back to shore to catch up with the boat. I decided to go last, and there was a concern that by going last, I might actually decide not to do it and not make the jump. But there was one thing motivating me, and that was my daughter was right in front of me, ready to jump in. Now, she can swim. I can't. But the one thing I told myself is that when she moves, I move. Don't wait for her to jump in and then follow. Literally run right behind her as if I'm trying to keep her safe or I'm trying to keep up, and not think about anything else but just trying to stay with her. So she runs, she jumps in, and I am literally a second behind her. Now the water is moving fast, so there's no danger of me landing on top of her, but there was a danger that I could have stopped myself at the last minute and walked around and missed out on one of the best experiences I've ever had. It was all about taking that first step, forgetting everything else that's telling me not to do it, and focusing on one thing, following her into the river. I didn't think about the ground underneath me. I didn't think about the swirling water. I didn't think about who's gonna catch me. I didn't think about what if I get lost, tumble, and turn. As far as I knew, no one had died, but that's besides the point. The point is that I was afraid. And I took that one step. And I took that one step with a focus, with nothing else. If fear is holding you back, find a thing to focus on and take that first step. Look, I could spend hours, even days belaboring the point, but I want you to go right now, get out there, take that first step, and win against fear. We'd love for you to like this video and subscribe and share it with your friends.